Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Greenwood. I'm the Director of Student Services here at the online campus. And again, I want to formally welcome you to our new student orientation. What we're going to be covering tonight is a variety of very important info for you. So if you haven't already grabbed a pen and paper, try to do that. You may have some questions or some things you want to jot down. We're going to give you an introduction to everyone here at the campus who are your important support contacts. We are also going to review the steps of accessing your student account, the student portal, and the online classroom. We'll go over your responsibilities as a student and how to be successful here. And then we'll finish up with talking a little bit how to get help when you are a student starting next week. And after that, we'll answer any additional questions you have, and then we'll send you off for the evening. So to get us started, I'd like to introduce you to some very important people here. First off is going to be our campus director, Miss Jamie Carson. Jamie, are you with us? Jamie, I think I can see you there. One moment, we'll go ahead and get you live here. Just a second. There you go. You should be okay at this point to share with us. There you are, I see you.
Oh, here I go. Hello.
Hey, hi.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. I was logged in incorrectly, which is why Jen couldn't see me. So welcome, everyone, to the Brookline Online Campus. We are thrilled that you're joining our campus community. As Jen stated, my name is Jamie Carson. I am the campus director here, and I love what we do, and I love what I do because we get to serve you as students, but I also get to work amongst amazing staff and amazing faculty. I'm not going to spend a lot of time speaking because we have so much information to share, and I want you to meet the awesome team, and Jen has a fun-filled, packed presentation to make sure that you're really comfortable on Monday. But the one thing that I just want to leave with you before I go is that if you see on there the hashtag #MyBrooklineWhy, this was something that we introduced to you when we sent out my email greeting upon your enrollment. And hashtag #MyBrooklineWhy means a lot to us. In order for us to really help you as a student, we need to know your why. We need to understand why you're here, what motivates you, and Dr. Katanani, he's here as well. So I'm going to give you your first assignment. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. So the assignment is to utilize the chat feature. So as you know, you can look down at the bottom of your screen, utilize the chat. What is your why? Tell me and tell us why you're here. Are you here to enhance your career? Maybe you're already in the healthcare field and you want to do something more. Maybe you're a first-generation college student and this is an opportunity for you to, just move forward in a different way. Maybe you're doing this for your kids. I don't know about you, but I have them. My why is very simple. I've got an amazing family. I got an amazing husband. I've got 3 little boys, and my why is them. But it's also, as I said, all the staff, faculty, and all of you students. So please start utilizing the chat feature, and we're going to be then sharing with you. So my why, again, it's you, it's my family. I'm really proud of that. And for any of you women out there, you can have amazing, successful careers and a family, and still you can have it all. So I just want to stress that a lot. So thank you, Jen, again. And everyone, please, please, please utilize all of the resources that we have for you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
thank you.
We've already started a why. Keep going. I'm going to start chatting. I'm going to chat
Awesome.
with all of you. I'm going to call you out. All right, going on mute. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamie. And everyone, I'd also like to introduce you to our Director of Education, Dr. Amar Katanani.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brookline family. We are so excited to have you. I know online learning, it's for you guys for who has busy schedule and you really want to make it work and achieve your goal. Please don't hesitate to contact me anytime. You can see my email here. and we are here for you. And congratulations on taking the first step to achieve your goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amr. We appreciate it. Nice to see you. And then everybody, this is me before COVID with a haircut. You can reach out to me anytime you'd like with regard to anything related to student services. My telephone number is here as well as my email address. So I look forward to meeting each one of you virtually as you go through your program. The other thing that we wanted to cover with you tonight is some of the important contacts we have here at the school, people that you'll probably be interacting with here very shortly. And you've already met one of them. Our program directors at Brookline College are Dr. Amr Katnani, who you've already met within the master's programs. So if you are a master's student, you'll be working with Dr. Q. If you are in medical office administration or allied health, Bachelor of Science in Health and Wellness or Healthcare Administration, your program director is Michelle Kelch. Now, Michelle is here. Michelle, would you like to say a couple of words?
Sure, thank you.
Even more than two, if you'd like.
All right, sure. Hi, everyone. I am your program director for the Allied Health programs, and I have 20 years of experience both in the field and now in education. And my why is I have two young daughters. Here I live out in Michigan, and I want to show them that they can achieve their goals and their dreams. And so I do this for them as well as giving back. I love working in education. I love working with students and helping you to achieve your dreams because I know it's not easy. I know school's not easy. And so I just want you all to know that I'm here for you to help you in any way possible.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank
and
you.
Michelle really means that. She's great to work with as a colleague, and she will be great for you to work with as a program director. And Dr. Q, I didn't know if you wanted to say anything else in relation to the master's student programs, or we can just go ahead and move on to our next section. Just make sure that's okay with you. Awesome.
You can do anything.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. So next up, very, very important support team here that I'd like to introduce you to from Career Services, Financial Aid, and Student Services. First up is Ms. Shannon Fisher.
Well, hello, everyone. It's so nice to meet you all. My name is Shannon Fisher. I am a Career Services Advisor. Our team consists of a really dedicated team of professionals that are so excited to work with you during your course of your schooling. We're here to work with you on everything from professionalism, resume writing, job interview, helping you network with companies, and also connecting you with recruiters. We're here to help you find that role that is going to fulfill you and that is your dream job for the reason why you went to school. We have multiple advisors that are here and that are dedicated to help you in your specific program. And again, it is so nice to meet you all, and I look forward to working with you. And my why is to watch you guys walk across that stage as a graduate with your dream job. That's ultimately my passion and why I'm here. So that's my why.
Thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate you sharing with us tonight, and I'm sure the students do as well. You'll look forward to working with Shannon. She's fantastic. I'd also like to introduce our Director of Financial Aid, Jessica Perez. Now, I don't think Jessica could make it this evening, but you certainly will be working with her throughout your program. She would be the person that you'd reach out to if you have questions about your tuition payments, financial plans, your FAFSA, and anything related to your financial transactions with the school. As shown on the screen, and again, you'll receive a copy of this when the session is over, all of her contact information is there for you. She does have a team, so it's not just her, but she's a great main point of contact if you do have questions. And then next up, I'd like to introduce you to David Majaka. He is your student services specialist, and he works with me directly. David will be reaching out to you for things like attendance reminders. If for some reason you happen to fall below 70%, which is similar to a C. If you happen to fall below 70% in class, he'll be reaching out to you about that, trying to encourage you to create a game plan with your instructor to be successful. But he's also there as a resource for you if you have some questions about our policies from an academic perspective, if you want to have an update on how you are doing in terms of progression through your degree. David is your guy for that. Now, I know David's here. I don't know if he wants to say anything. David, would you like to say hello to the group?
Sure. It's a pleasure to meet everybody here. Hi, this is my hair before COVID. It's very short. So yes, I'm looking forward to working with everybody here today. And some of the folks that I've seen here in the chat, I've already had an opportunity to reach out to. And especially when I'm sending out those tests. So when you get those tests here, that was all from me. So we'll be getting a chance to get to know each other as you progress through this. And I look forward to it. And I just noticed on here too, don't use that phone number Jen has on the slide deck here, that the last 2 digits are wrong. So you might not get in touch with me there. But
David, are you 1357?
I'm 1314.
Okay, so everybody, I will, before I send this out tonight, I'll be updating that. Thank you, David. Thanks for letting me know.
No, that's okay. That's okay. If you got caller ID, you're gonna program me in there anyway. So,
yeah.
But no, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I look very forward to meeting, talking with you all, and getting to know you all. And don't hesitate. I come with many years of experience in academics, and I was an online student like you all. And so I got a lot of compassion and empathy, and I'm excited for you guys all. I remember my first time like this. So embrace it. We've got a lot of good things coming your way, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, David. Really inspiring. And, you know, it's funny because many of us have taken online classes, some of us a lot longer ago than others. But most of the people that you're working with here are very seasoned and tenured in academic roles. And so we understand what you're dealing with. We have a variety of resources and experience that we can share with you. All right, so let me move on. And what we're going to do now is we're going to transition into the part of the presentation that's really all about your tools and the resources that you have in order to be successful here. One of the very first things that I want to bring to your attention, that's your number one priority, is your student account. We need to get you set up with your student account. Now, I do know, I checked with our IT department, they have not yet issued your email addresses and accounts. So what we're going to be talking about now is something that you'll receive most likely tomorrow. So every single student that comes to Brookline College receives a Microsoft Office 365 student account along with a student email address that's associated with Brookline. We do have a requirement or a policy that states students must use the Brookline email account for all school communication. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to work to get you into your student accounts, and then we're going to start communicating you with those emails. So if you happen to be at home, maybe on your cell phone, and you can't remember your Brookline email, and you were to email us from your personal email account, we are required to copy your student account in the reply and then ask you to continue the conversation with us in your email. And so that's one of the reasons why the account's so important. We don't want you to miss any communication at all. Now, the really fun thing about the student accounts, if you're a little bit of a nerd like me, I like to have Microsoft Office products because I love Microsoft Word, you know, to write letters or whatever it is that you'll be doing with, you know, school. You might be writing a paper and eventually a resume to get your new job. But also Excel, which is great for things like bill paying and financial things. It's something that we use here at the school for those types of courses. There's also PowerPoint, which is a presentation program. And then the other really wonderful thing is you get an entire terabyte, which is much larger than a gigabyte, a terabyte of storage in the OneDrive cloud. What that means is if you want to work on your paper at, say, a work computer, and then maybe you want to go work on it at a home computer, maybe you want to open it up on a tablet, you can access those documents that you save out on OneDrive from any device at all. The other thing that's really great about this account is you can put it up onto up to 5 different devices. That might include, again, personal computer, cell phone, tablet, you know, those types of things. So you have multiple means to access this content and access these tools for school. Now, we will be sending you instructions to access this account, including your login credentials and your school email address. That is all emailed to your personal account, and like I said, it should happen tomorrow. We'd kind of hope to have it to you by today, and so what we're going to do now is we're going to look at what that email looks like, and then we're going to look at the directions and steps on the screen, okay? And again, this is something you'll have to download and review over the weekend if you would like to do that. So you'll receive an email from us, and it will say your Microsoft Office student email account credentials, just like the email shows. It'll have your name and student ID, and then down into the body of the message, we give you the instructions on how to actually access that account. They are shown here on the left-hand side of the screen. What we're essentially telling you to do is go to office.com, click on sign in, enter in your brand new username that you just received in the email. I'm giving you an example so you kind of know what it looks like. It would be something like jgreenwood123 at my.brooklinecollege.edu. So if your name was John Smith, it might be jsmith589 at my.brooklinecollege.edu. That's what the username for your Microsoft Office login is, and it's also your school email address. In the email instructions, we also provide you with a temporary password so that when you go on the Office site, you'll be prompted to change that. So here's what the steps actually look like when you're online. You'll click on sign in, and then you'll follow these steps. You'll have a pop-up box that asks you to enter your new email address. Then it will have you enter in your temporary password. It will prompt you to change that password to something that you recognize or that you use more, commonly often. And then it will ask you if you'd like to stay signed in. A note on this, it's completely optional, but it is helpful to check yes to stay signed in. That means you won't have to go through the login steps every single time. And it will also make it easier for you to access your student portal, which is one of the other things that we're going to talk about here shortly. So again, it's really important when you get this email from us, don't delay, make sure that you get logged in and get that account activated. Once you get logged in, all of the applications that are available to you appear on the menu on the left-hand side. These are actually web versions of the software, like Microsoft Word. And I'll show you here in a second where to find this, but there is going to be a way for you to actually download the software onto your machine as well. And we're going to recommend that you go through the download if you don't have Microsoft Office on your computer, because the products, when they're fully downloaded, have a lot more menu content available to you, more tools available to you, and we find students do a lot better when they're actually using the downloaded version. Having said that, there's a perfectly fine version online in this left navigation bar. What we're really going to look at right on this slide is, because we've told you your email account's really important, we wanted to show you directly how to get to it. So you'll access your student email account from that left app menu, and you're going to look for a little blue box with an O in it. It's a white O, and that's for Outlook. A lot of people already use Outlook, so they know what to look for, but I do have that circled for you if you aren't sure. The next step is, once you've clicked on Outlook, I just wanted you to get an idea of what your student email account actually looks like inside. On the left-hand navigation, you'll see that there is an inbox. You would click on that to then look and see kind of what you received, okay? Pretty simple, pretty standard. If you're already using Gmail or Yahoo, it's going to be similar, but it will be a lot cleaner, most likely no advertisements and things like that. So for a lot of folks, they find it challenging to have to log into a computer to get onto their email, and they want something that's a little more instantaneous for them. And so the good news is you can put Microsoft Outlook right on your cell phone. If you have an Android or iPhone, you'd simply go to your app store and download the app onto your phone. And there are literally about 3 steps. You click on Add Account, you enter in your student email address, and then you enter in that new password you just created, and there you go, you're signed in. And I think that would be highly recommended, because so many people are busy right now trying to juggle parenting, homeschooling, working, and your own school, that you want to have little things like this to make your lives a little bit easier. So I strongly recommend that you do that. Now, this slide talks a little bit about what I started to mention earlier, which is all about actually downloading the Office 365 applications to your computer, because those applications are more robust, they're better, so you want to go this route if you can. And you'll simply, from the main Office page, you'll simply click on the Install Office button. You'll see a drop-down menu, and you want to choose Office 365 apps. Then it's really simple. You'll just follow the on-screen instructions to finish up the download. And then, as you know, you may notice this, I'll read it to you, but on step 3 on this screen, it says, after installation, start Office and sign in with the account you are using for Office 365. So you want to make sure to get fully activated. And that means just having the web page still open and actually opening up Word or one of the other software programs to connect the accounts together. It's very simple. We've got folks on staff who can help with this. So if you have any questions about this or concerns, you definitely want to go ahead and ask those in the chat, and we will follow up with you there and make sure that you get your questions answered. So anyway, segueing into another important tool. So we've talked about your student account. Now we're going to talk about the student portal. Your student portal contains more of the administrative business process or transactional side of your relationship with us here at the school. That would be things like looking at your financial aid award letter, or a lot of students will want to go in and get a form called a 1098-T at the end of each year so they can show how much tuition that they've had to pay for that goes on their taxes. Another example might be you just want to look at your schedule, or you want to look at your final grades for the few classes maybe that you've finished at some point. That's what the student portal is for. It is not for completing schoolwork. You're going to be doing that in the classroom, but we know that this is something that is important, and it was really good to talk about up next, because it actually, starting next Monday, you'll be able to log into that with your new student account, so that email account that we were talking about. So let's take a look at what that looks like. To get into things like your financial award letter, to go in and grab final grades, to look at your attendance, you're going to want to go to a website, and that is my.brooklinecollege.edu. So you can go ahead and save that to your favorites. You don't have to log into this right now. Again, this is more of the administrative side of your relationship with us, but I still wanted you to see it. So once you click on log in, you would be prompted right now, if you were to do it, you would see a page like this. Now, I have a note here that says if you've already logged into the portal before and have gone through these steps, we want to make note that on Monday, January 11th, which is this coming Monday, your login credentials actually will change to your student email account and your student email account password that you create in Microsoft. So what we're seeing on this page is what you'd see today, but come Monday, this is the page that you would see, and you would enter in your student account on this page. Once you are fully logged into the portal, just a quick high level, there's this left navigation bar. I'm going to come back to this. This is the one on the left, but there's a center area and an upper right corner. At the top upper right corner, you'll notice there's a section called Holds, Alerts, and Appointments. And that's really a way for our internal staff to reach out to you via a messaging system. Those are called web alerts, and they'll go up in that area. I don't think we currently use it that much, but we may begin to use it more, so kind of be aware that there may be messages in there. If you see the number 0 turn to a 1, that means there's a message sitting in there for you. There's another area here in the center called Glance. On the Glance section, you can see your current schedule, financial aid balance. There's a GPA profile there. There's a message center, which is kind of related to the holds and alerts area in the corner there. And then there's an advisor list, which is kind of at the bottom center of this page. And that's going to show people like your financial aid advisors if you have someone assigned specifically to work with you. Now, on that left-hand navigation bar, which I was talking about a little earlier, there are really 3 main areas that most students are interested in. That's the academics area, the My Finances, and My Financial Aid. If you click on academics, a drop-down menu comes down, and I'm kind of have that pulled out and highlighted here, where you can view attendance, get an unofficial transcript, do what we call a degree audit, and that's really looking at your degree progress. You can pull a course schedule. There's a grade point average calculator, and then you can see final grades. In My Finances, you can see there is an option to view a 1098-T, which is that tax document we were talking about, which we'll do every year. If you're here with us for a while, you'll want to get in there. And then finally, the My Financial Aid contains the award letter. So you can see it's not a place that you would come that often, but it does have some important information in there for you. And again, on Monday, you'd be accessing that with your Microsoft Office, Brookline student email, and the new password that you created. All right, moving right along. This is probably the biggest part of our presentation tonight, and it is the most important part of the presentation tonight because ultimately this is how you are going to be attending school with us this session. So let's go ahead and get started. Our Brookline classroom can be found at the website shown here, which is online.brooklinecollege.edu. Now, I'd love it if all of you would go ahead and go to this page, even if it's on your phone. Maybe you're watching us on the computer. You can grab your phone and do this if you'd like. I want to see if we can actually get you signed in today and see how that goes, okay? So before we look at getting signed into the page, I wanted to just go over the very high level technical requirements. We do have a much longer list than this, but this is the bare minimum. The big thing that we want to share is that students must have regular access to either a desktop computer, which I know are very few and far between now, or a laptop computer. And they do need to meet the minimum technical requirements listed on the screen. One of the challenges that students have is trying to do a lot of their schoolwork on a cell phone. They might try to do a lot of it on a tablet or other handheld device, and occasionally those devices do not work with all of the learning exercises in a classroom, which is why our requirement is that you at least have some sort of computer available to you. Now, the operating systems we have listed here really are the most recent version of the PC, which is Windows, or Mac, which is called OS X, OS 10, 10 and 10.8. That's kind of where students are at, or higher is actually going to be really great. As far as internet is concerned, hotspots are not recommended. These are you tethering your cell phone and using it as the internet service for your computer. They don't tend to work that well for the best classroom experience. We recommend you have a coax cable or some sort of DSL or equivalent high-speed internet access. And then as far as browsers are concerned, we ask that you do not use Microsoft Edge and you do not use Safari. We ask that you use the most recent version of Firefox or Chrome. Now, I want to stop for a second because I see chats come, but I can't read them right now. I want to make sure I don't get off topic too far. But David Majonka, is there anything coming through that I need to address with the group?
Yes, they wanted to. Can you post the online classroom link? Somebody was asking what it was, and they wanted to know too, and this is a good question, a previous student, previous credentials, will they work? If they're a previous returning student.
Sometimes they don't. Usually they do. The key thing right now is if you're going to try to log in right now, we want to see if your email address will work and generate a password reset for you, but it's a really easy fix. So if it doesn't work, I want you to email me or David, if David, you get information for the student, and then I will personally go in tomorrow and make sure that the account is set to your current email address. We would really need to look at it specifically and kind of see what's in our Moodle system, which is the version of the LMS, learning management system, that we have. So whatever is in Moodle is what we would want to use.
I'll send a message to them to find out. I can look that up in the background.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right, everybody. So this page that we're seeing right now is essentially what it looks like when you're logged in. Many of you will not have been a previous student, so we're going to take a look at how to actually get logged in. And I would strongly urge you to do this today so that we can get your username and password saved into Moodle, which is what you'll hear us call this. So our online classroom and Moodle are the same thing. Moodle's if you could say, it's the software that runs the classroom, and hopefully that helps. But what we'd ask you to do today is go using a Chrome browser or a Firefox browser, go to online.brooklinecollege.edu and click on the lost password button, which is right underneath this orange login button. The landing page that you'll come on is where you'll be entering in your email address. Now, what I would like for you to do today, if you can, is use your email address that you signed up with us with. So if it was a Gmail account, a Yahoo account, iCloud, whatever it is that you use, I want you to type it into this area and click on the search button. That will generate an instant password reset email. That's the best way to find out, too, if you were a previous student, if that email address is still associated with your account. Now, I will say, and I'm not trying to add any kind of confusion at all for anybody, but on Monday, if for some reason you forgot your password, you'd have to use your student email address because you're a student with us by Monday. That's why I'm saying to do it today. Let's go ahead, have everybody try their personal email accounts and their and see if that email comes through. And what you're looking for from us is the email that is shown on the screen, which the subject should say, "Welcome to Brookline College, password reset request." And then you should see a link within the email, and you're going to want to click on that link because it only lasts for about 60 minutes or an hour. Once you've clicked on the link, this is the page that you see. You'll enter in your new password twice. It's got to be at least 8 characters, 1 number, 1 uppercase, and 1 lowercase letter, and then you can click on Save Changes. What it does then is it automatically logs you in, and I strongly recommend that you take the time to save the username and the password here so that you don't have to keep logging back in or resetting and that sort of thing. The screen image or screenshot I'm showing here is actually Google Chrome. This is what the Chrome version of saving the password looks like. It works great for me. I use it all the time. The other thing that I recommend that students do, and again, this is a Chrome screenshot, is it says click on the star in the Chrome address bar in order to save that as a favorite. It'll fill in completely solid blue, and then you can literally name that bookmark whatever you want. I recommend saving it on the bookmarks bar because then it will always be displayed right below your address bar. That way it's always easy to find. You don't have to type in the entire thing. All right, so let's move on to actually navigating to your course. Now here's the challenge here for you all, is you're probably super excited and you probably really want to see your classes, and they're not in there yet. So these next few slides we're going to go over. Even if you've gotten in this far, congratulations, that's exactly what we wanted you to do. But if you were to click on your dashboard right now, you won't see a course on there, or there would, for some of you, there would be 2. Most of you, there's only going to be 1. You won't see anything there right now. So you can kind of sit back. Now we know you can log in. That's awesome. You want to sit back and kind of watch the rest of this because you won't be able to do this within the classroom right now. Your classes will actually appear sometime Sunday night into Monday morning, and they'll show up. When Monday rolls around, what we'll have you do is navigate to your course. So you're logged in, we're going to have you click on dashboard from the left navigation bar, and then that will actually take you to your course overview page. You'll be able to click on the course tile in order to access your course. I have checked, most of you are in Med A, some of you are in SS 100, and there's a handful of you that are in master's courses. Just note that those courses won't show up here until Monday. Now, if you log in Monday morning and your classes aren't there, you want to reach out to David or I or your admissions representative and say, hey, I can't see my classes. Same with if you have trouble getting logged in, you want to let us know because we'll get you in as quickly as we can. Now, we want to give you an idea of what happens when you click on a course page. I am showing you screenshots of this because I could do a live demo for you, but it's much easier for you to have something to take away. So I want you to know what you're going to see when you get in. Really, every course page is broken up into 3 areas. On the left is where you'll find things like your grade book, who else is participating in the class with you under the participants bar. You'll see a series of folders. That's our left navigation bar. That's where you kind of can click through and get to each week of your class. In the center part is where the main course contents and media reside. So your ebook information, information on APA writing, your instructor's contact info, and then all of the content, meaning your readings and things like that, will all be kind of in that center area of the page. And then on the right navigation, there is an area called Latest News, which are your school announcements for the class specific that you're in. And then you'll see there's an area called Quick Mail down below that. And that's actually where you can email directly in the classroom with your instructor. We don't require that you use the classroom quick mail. You can actually use your student email account through Outlook to send your instructor a message, but the quick mail is an alternative option for you because it's within the course itself. A couple of the things that I want to draw to your attention that are very important are, first of all, the course summary section. When you open a page, any classroom page, the course summary is always going to default at the top. And the course summary contains all of the information that you need for class. Every time you click on an individual folder on that left-hand navigation bar for each of the weeks, now in my example, I'm looking at a class that started August 17th. If I were to click on that August 17th folder, the very top of the page will still have the course summary. So we don't want you to get confused when you get in there and click on a folder and think that the page didn't move forward. It did. It just means that you have to scroll down below course summary. That is there for your reference for each and every week. I also want you to note that most of the items in the blue text in the course summary area are going to be clickable for you. A perfect example is the course syllabus, and it is one of the first things that you'll see, and it's important that you review it because you're going to then take a syllabus quiz, and that quiz is required in order for you to get into your week 1 work. So you'll simply click on the blue link to the syllabus. The syllabus will come up in a PDF reader. You can download or print that document. You can scroll through and read it. You can make it larger or smaller with the plus and minus controls. I recommend that you download this document, you create a folder on your desktop for your course, and then you put that course syllabus inside of it so that you can reference it anytime you'd like. It's always going to be here. When you review the course syllabus, it's going to have things like your book information, course description and objectives. There should be a grading rubric in there. There's a lot of different and important things in that course syllabus. But once you've reviewed the syllabus, you're going to want to hit the back button, go back to that course summary, and click on the syllabus quiz link. The good news is you will have unlimited attempts to pass it, but you do have to do it in order to progress into week 1. So make sure that that's kind of at the top of your list. And hopefully, if you're creating a running checklist, you're thinking about some of these things. The student portal, the student account, the student portal, getting in here. All of those things can be done now. You don't have to wait until Monday. It's just the core stuff that you can't do until Monday, okay? So if we have you go ahead and take that syllabus quiz, we're gonna now continue through some additional course summary items that I wanted to call out to you as pretty important. The next one coming up is actually called the instructor welcome page. That is listed under the student resources section. And what we'll have you do is simply click on that instructor welcome because it contains all of your instructor's information. They should have a picture uploaded, but at a minimum, they will have their name, telephone number, email address, and office hours. And we have asked all of them to create a welcome video for you. Sometimes they don't get posted. Sometimes there's a technical issue, but just know that we encourage our faculty members to be able to introduce themselves to you in that way. So please take a moment and review that welcome video if there is one there on Monday when you get into class. Another thing that's very important that I wanted to draw to your attention under student resource is the live lectures page. When you click on this link, we're going to look at it here in a sec, but it's where your class actually meets each week in a live format. It's an opportunity for you to get an introduction to the class, to ask as many questions as you need to for clarification on homework, and your instructors are going to hold these every single week. So what we'll do is have you click on the link, and we'll click on it virtually together and take a look at what is in there for us, okay? So in this screenshot, I kind of was trying to get you the entire page without having to scroll, so I kind of made it a little smushed here and small. But essentially what you'll do when you get to this page is you'll notice there is a section at the top called Weekly Live Lecture Schedule. And in my example, this looks like it's probably SS100. it is showing that this instructor offers 2 different times for students to come in and ask questions. That is Tuesday from 5 to 5:30 and Thursday 10 to 10:30. And she also holds a live lesson during those periods. Right below that, you'll be able to see that there's a blue button. You'll click on that and it takes you into a room very similar to this one. Now for this one, we registered you. For the other one, you'll just click on the link, type in your information, and then you'll be let into the room. So you'll simply click on that button to do that. The other thing that you may notice here is I am mentioning that your attendance is strongly recommended, but there are recordings of the sessions that are made available, and you can kind of see those towards the bottom of my screenshot. There are little play buttons on each one, and this instructor has really kind of outlined it very well. An introduction to the course was the first title that she has here, and then there's something called Mind Tap Activities Explanation. That's how to actually do the homework, which is very important. And then there's the guest lecture. So we want to say that while we don't require the attendance, if you can make it, it's really, really important to your success to go to them. And they can be a lot of fun, you know, to meet up with folks and kind of get some answers to the questions that you have. And here is me just pointing out to you that the recordings are at the bottom, and you'll simply click the play button. You can resize the window to full screen and watch a recording. If you're working or something came up and you can't make it, you can always go in and look at those and rewatch them if you need to. Another important resource in the course summary area are the APA format resources. Students are provided with these resources so that they are able to understand how to write an APA style. And that is for things like paraphrasing, citing sources, creating a bibliography. I would call it academic writing. And if you're somebody that doesn't feel really comfortable with that, we have things for you to use that will make it a little bit easier. So if you are worried about writing, what we would recommend that you do is watch the APA format video that is included in each of the classes. And it is actually the icon here that looks like a little white piece of paper with a purple circle in it. That's the APA format video that is in every class. Then we also have an APA guidelines document, PDF. There is a Word paper template that is completely set up for APA writing, and it is set up so well that you literally just have to replace the information that's there with your own information. When you look at it, you'll understand what I mean. It makes it much easier for people rather than setting up a document from scratch. And it's also important that you understand what plagiarism is. There is a plagiarism document for you to download, and really all plagiarism is about is you using your own original work and giving people the credit that they deserve if you are paraphrasing or citing them in some sort of way. So that's important. And we're going to talk a little bit about turning in writing assignments and how to work with writing assignments. We have some really great tools for you to try to avoid plagiarism. So we'll look at that here in a second. But the other thing that's found in the course summary are your ebooks and course materials. We recommend that you, like I said, that you download that syllabus, double check and make sure you understand what the books are. There is a section within the course called ebook resources in the course summary. You'll be able to download your, or rather access your book right there in many cases. If you are a brand new student with us, you will have to register an account with the book company, and you can go ahead and use your student account for that. That'd probably be best. That ties you with us. We don't force you to do that, but it's recommended. And you'll just walk through a quick registration, and then you should be able to access your textbook. We also have a variety of resources there from different publishers. I have some of them listed here, like Newton, Vital Source. There are other third-party resources. It's impossible to cover all of them, but your instructor can help you with questions about the resources needed for each individual course. Do not wait till you don't understand. Make sure that you look in advance. If you're not sure, that you get a question to that faculty member immediately, because not understanding what to do with your resources can put you behind. So we want to make sure that you're successful. Since so many of you are coming in Med A, there are actually 2 books in that course. One of them will require registration, like we talked about, through Vital Source. The other one is a free download. So the vital source one is the one that looks like a green puzzle piece. It says ebook, health science fundamentals, and then the free book that does not require registration is anatomy and physiology. Okay, so you'll go through downloading those. Then the rest of you, a handful, are I believe there's at least 3 or 4 of you in SS100. That's our student success course for our degree programs. Students are provided with the ebooks under the ebook resources in that course summary as well. Now, in SS100, students are going to access their ebook for the first time in week 1. So that may be a little confusing to you if you get into the class and you think, gee, how am I supposed to get into this book? There should be a note in there. I'm going to read it, and I'm sorry I have to squint here a little bit because my other monitor isn't working. In order to access your ebook for the first time, click on the first ebook assignment in week 1, and that is entitled Chapter Reflection, Getting on Course to Your Success. So in this example, SS100 uses a publisher called Cengage MindTap, and you'll be doing a lot of homework assignments that are built directly in your ebook, which is kind of cool process. So it makes it a little more interactive and fun. We have a fantastic SS100 instructor who is really great working with new students, and she will be going over all of the details on how to use those built-in assignments with you. So many of you will have or encounter Cengage MindTap classes. So look out for this kind of thing in the future. You'll definitely have that as part of your program. So a few course basics that I wanted to share with you if you didn't already know. Things like the length of your class. When does a class week start? What am I going to be doing in these classes? So this is how I've kind of laid this out, and I want to show it to you. You can actually see it laid out right in the classroom. Your courses are 5 weeks long. You can see that in our left navigation here. In this example, that course ran February 17th through March 22nd. There's 5 folders equaling 5 weeks. Weeks always begin on a Monday at our online campus and always end on a Sunday. So your instructional week is the entire 7 days. Within each of those Monday through Sunday weeks, you will be required to do things like reviewing a PowerPoint chapter summary. Maybe you're doing ebook readings. You might be watching a recorded video. You might be participating in discussions with your other students. There are writing assignments. You might have projects. You're definitely going to have short quizzes and things of that nature, assessments. So it's a variety of things. And when you click on a week and when you finally look at the week's work, it's really important for you to kind of get a feel for when things are due. Because there are so many different kinds of assignments, I'm not going to go into all of them, but I am going to go into the top 2 that I have because they are the most common, and they're really across all courses. In an online program, you are going to be required to participate in discussion assignments every single week. And in a lot of classes, there are writing assignments throughout. So those are the 2 we're focusing on. Discussion assignments are required, and what they're really doing is they're replacing live participation from a live course. They are meant to replace that. And so because in a live class, an instructor might ask you to answer a question, call on you, maybe you raise your hand, you're going to start to discuss things about the course. You don't get that opportunity in an online class. And so we have created a discussion board as a way to do that. So it's very similar if you're somebody that is on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, people communicating, right? We type things out, we communicate to one another. That's what a discussion assignment is like. It's like posting to a message board, but it's related to your homework. So typically, a discussion assignment has 2 different due dates, really. The first one is initial postings to a question. So it's your initial writing, your initial response or answer to a question or writing prompt. That is due on Wednesday of the week. So imagine Monday is start day every single week. So Monday, you've got a couple of days before that first discussion assignment is due. So that's a day of participation for you. The other thing that you are required to do is you're required to reply to 2 to 3 other class members by Sunday. And Brookline really wants you to do that, all of this assignment on 3 different days. So your initial post on a Wednesday, maybe a reply to another student on Thursday and another one on Saturday. That is a perfect example. That is going to help you on the participation point side because you are graded for participation. So what you would do in the case of a discussion assignment, and I have this highlighted here because it gives you those instructions, what you're going to do when you get into the class is you'll just click on where it says week 1, and then it might say discussion question. Maybe it's week 2 discussion question. That's how you kind of know what the discussion assignment is. It's pretty clear. And on here, I'm really kind of saying these are the 3 main things that you're doing in a discussion assignment. Number 1, you're either going to watch a video or complete a reading or an exercise, some sort of content or material that you're then going to have to answer a question about. And that's what the writing prompt is. So 1, you're going to watch a video, complete a reading. 2, you're going to read the writing prompt. What do they want me to write about here? There'll be a question in there. And then part 3 is you'll actually reply and you'll post a response. Now, a good discussion assignment response, that's your initial posting, should be about 150 words. You can actually do a word count right on the page, but you can also write it in Word if you'd like to save it, kind of do a spell check, that sort of thing. But 150 words is what you're going for in the initial discussion assignment, and then each additional one after that's about 50 words. When you are ready to post your assignment, you'll simply click reply, copy and paste your response into the box, and make sure to include a subject, and then hit submit. When you are finished, this is an example of what a series of replies look like. So the other important part for participation that I mentioned just briefly is that you want to reply to at least 2 to 3 other students. This reply posting, though, does not have to be 150 words. It has to be about 50 words, and we really, really recommend that it's something substantive and even maybe has a cite attached to it. Maybe something that you read or you want to be able to respond. So you looked up a fact. Maybe another student made a statement, maybe you didn't totally agree with it, but you weren't really sure how to kind of approach it. You actually can go and kind of do a little bit of research and say, well, the research shows that, 2 out of 10 people, and then you can cite a source. So that's what we mean by substantive posting to one another. So we want to have a meaningful conversation in our discussion boards. And that's what a discussion assignment's all about. Part of your grade is going to be your initial original thoughts, but another part of it is actually participating and engaging in the discussion itself. Another very, very important and very common type of assignment is a writing assignment. Nobody loves to write papers, but it's a fact of life when you are getting an education. It's what we have to do, and you'll probably be doing a lot of writing in your business life too. So to access a writing assignment, they are listed right within the week's content. You'll simply click on the link shown underneath the assignments. What I want to call to your attention is the logo that is right in front of these week 4 case studies. It looks like a little piece of paper with a red arrow. And that is a product that we have embedded into our classes called Turn It In. Turn It In is an automated tool that checks your paper for originality. What it really does is it can go out to the internet, it looks at journals, it looks at other students' papers, and it looks at it to make sure that you have not incorrectly paraphrased, that you haven't forgotten to cite, and it's actually going to give you a similarity score so you know how well you did, and you'll get an opportunity to resubmit your paper. So it's really a nice tool, and I'm actually going to walk you through that here now. We do want to tell you, though, we strongly recommend that you go ahead and download our APA paper template that's in the class that I talked about earlier, because you're going to want to use that to write anything that you are required to in terms of APA. You wouldn't use this for discussion postings, but you would want to use it for your writing assignments. Microsoft Word is what you'll have to have downloaded in order to open that paper. And that's why earlier when I said you want to make sure you download the applications from Microsoft Office, this is the reason why you want to do that. So let's go ahead and move on. I want to show you how to actually submit a writing assignment. So as you remember, we clicked on that writing assignment link. Now we're on the writing assignment page. I wanted you to see an example of what to expect when you prepare to submit your paper. On this page, there's usually some instruction, and then down towards the bottom, you'll see the area that says submission title, turn it in paper ID, submitted, similarity, grade, and then a submit paper button. Everything's blank here, and that's because we haven't tried to turn anything in yet. Once we turn things in, all of that's going to change and there's going to be data in there. So let's take a look by clicking on the Submit Paper button. What will happen is a pop-up window will come up. You will have to leave the submission type as is because we are doing a file upload. You want to title your submission, whatever it's called, if it's writing assignment number 1 in this example someone used, and then you'll click on that little paper icon. To be honest, if you click on the little drop down arrow, the one that says drag and drop, this will open up the same menu, just so you know, on a side note. But we're going to walk through the steps of actually attaching the paper to this window and then adding the submission. So what comes up for us when we go to hit that little paper icon is we're actually going to be prompted to browse our computer to find our assignment on our computer so that we can upload it here. And under so you're going to browse, you're going to find your file. So let me get, I'm losing my place here a little bit. You're going to click on browse to find that doc. So if you've never uploaded a file before and you get any kind of confusion or you're worried about not being able to do this, please reach out to us. We're here tomorrow. Let us know what your concerns are. If you need a tutorial on how to walk through some of these things on Monday, we are more than happy to help you do that. So once you've clicked on browse, you're going to then save your file type. So you'll enter your file name there. Maybe it's writing assignment number 1, like we said before. Your author name will be your name. It will just pop up in there. You won't have to type that in. And then you'll click on upload this file. Once you have submitted your assignment and uploaded the file, you'll receive a digital receipt that will pop right up on the screen. And incidentally, I believe it also sends you an email. When that digital receipt pops up on the screen, it's a little confusing. You want to look to the upper left to close it out. There'll be a little X there for you. And then you'll be able to come back to this page. Now, you'll notice what has changed is that there is a digital receipt link where I can click on View Digital Receipt. There's a submission title, Week 4 submission. There's a Turnitin paper ID. That's what Turnitin assigns. And then it gives us a submitted day and time, a similarity score. According to this paper is 7% similar to something out on the internet or a previously submitted paper that Turnitin has that is found in this paper. That's not a big deal. 7% is actually not bad at all. Really, to avoid plagiarism, our faculty are looking to make sure that your similarity score is less than 25%. If it's higher than 25%, you do not want to leave it like that. You want to get back in here and resubmit. Now, you might say, Jennifer, I did this, but I don't see anything under similarity score at all. You do have to refresh the screen, and it takes a few minutes for it to actually run through their entire system and put a score back up here. So you can either log out and come back a few minutes later, or you can hit on your keyboard Control F5 if you're using a Windows machine. That will reload that score and refresh that page in order to populate that similarity score for you. Like I said, if you want to resubmit your paper, just know that you can resubmit it 3 times in any 24-hour period up until the due date. So if you need to resubmit it, you can. If you find that you're not really sure what you did wrong in terms of the similarity score, we strongly recommend that you reach out to your instructor about that. They should be able to walk you through kind of some of the examples of what's actually happening in that writing assignment. All righty, I'm going to take a break here for 1 second and ask David, is there anything that we want to address on our previous section?
No, it is quiet.
Fantastic.
No, yes, you're doing fantastic.
Awesome, and thanks everybody. Oh, we're getting so close to finishing here. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. I didn't realize it was so late, so let me move on. We want to talk about what your responsibilities are as a student. First of all, I know that a college catalog is not stimulating reading, but we do want you to at least look at the table of contents of your college catalog and understand that there are a lot of policy information in there. There's stuff about financial aid, your academic programs, including things like course descriptions, and a lot of people are interested in that usually. Take a look at that. There's information on career services, student services, graduation requirements, and more. That's actually found right on the brooklinecollege.edu webpage. We even have it in Moodle, the LMS system, as well. So you want to kind of understand what the policies are. We are not going to cover that giant catalog tonight, but we are going to talk about 3 important academic policies. They are participation in class, attendance in class, which is a little bit different, and satisfactory academic progress. In terms of participation, students are required to participate in class a minimum of 3 days in each week. Remember, that's Monday through Sunday. So sometime Monday through Sunday, you need to post 3 times. The participation can be completing an assignment, doing a quiz, doing a discussion post, doing a paper, and we do have the due dates for all of these things spread out throughout the week. So to help you manage your workload and that you're not kind of, procrastinating until Friday and Saturday to get everything done, because that's when people really struggle. They get frustrated with themselves. If you can do a little bit every so many days, it makes a huge difference in terms of getting done. So again, 3 days a week is the participation requirement. Now, as far as attendance is concerned, your attendance is marked on the days that you do one of those types of activities. Again, it could be a discussion post, an assignment, a quiz, any kind of gradable item. The thing to note is reading or reviewing content doesn't count as attendance, and if you miss 14 consecutive days of class, you will be withdrawn for an attendance policy violation. So if you feel like you're running into problems, maybe you had a shift change at work, maybe you've had a family emergency, maybe there's some sort of serious thing going on. We all know right now COVID is happening. A lot of us are very stressed out. We want to make sure that you're in communication with us and we know what's happening with you. So you will hear from David and I about attendance, because we are not going to let you get to the point where you would have any trouble like this. We want to work with you. There are options for illness and things like that. So the number one priority is to stay in communication with us so we can help. Now, just to wrap up some attendance examples, what counts as attendance? Well, here's what counts: submitting a discussion post, like I showed you, turning in a writing assignment, like I showed you, completing a mind tap or built-in textbook assignment that your instructors will go over with you when you have one, taking a quiz. All of those things count as attendance. Reviewing announcements, reading textbooks, attending the lecture, doing library research, or typing your paper, that is not attendance. It's always something that's considered a gradable item, and we want to make sure that you get the credit that you deserve for your attendance, and that's why it's important to us to share this with you. A couple other quick things as well, and this is an academic policy, and that is satisfactory academic progress. Essentially, that's a fancy phrase for, are you passing your program or not? And so I'm going to just go over the requirements. The satisfactory academic progress policy does apply to all students. It is actually necessary for us to define this in order for us to maintain financial aid, but it's important for you to be eligible to continue to receive financial aid, to receive VA benefits if you're getting those. You have to stay in a positive and progressive sort of state when you're in school. You cannot get strings of F's or D's and be able to stay in the program. And so being successful is measured as satisfactory academic progress. We do look at your progress every 3 to 4 sessions typically. That's usually the length of a payment period. So about every 3 classes if you're taking 1 class at a time, just to give you an idea. If a student fails to meet the standards laid out or our requirements, they can result in you being placed in a status called academic warning or probation, and ultimately could lead to dismissal. So you want to be checking in with your instructor all during your class to see where you are in terms of your grade. Then you want to also be checking in with your academic folks, your student services folks, for us to take a look at how have you been doing, every 3 to 4 starts. We will notify you if there's a problem. I will be sending below 70% notifications to you each week. So if you happen to be under a C average in a class, you'll hear from me and I'll say, hey, just wanted to let you know, it looks like you're at 65%. What can we do to help you? We do try to help you stay on top of it, but it is your student responsibility to kind of know what these guardrails are. So depending on the program you're in, so if you are in medical office administration diploma, if you're in Associates of Allied Health, if you're a health and wellness bachelor student, or if you're in one of our master's program, you can kind of find yourself on this chart. Every program requires that students get a 70% C as a minimum passing grade in every course. Certainly, we want you to all be A students, but we know not all of us have a great experience in every single class. Sometimes we kind of blow it. I've done it myself. And so at a minimum, in order to pass a core course, you need to have a 70%. Now, for a general education course, and this only applies to you if you're an associate's level student, like our allied health, or our bachelor's degree students, you have something called general education courses in your program. These are courses like math, English, sociology, psychology. Those general education courses have a minimum passing grade of a 60% or D. Now, we don't aspire or encourage you to get a D, but we just want you to know if you're having a particularly rough time, it can be hard on a student who's used to getting A's and B's to end up with a C or a D. We want you to know that we're right there with you. We want you to be very successful, but just know these are the minimum requirements. Getting an F is not acceptable in either core or gen ed, and a D is not acceptable in a core course. So we want to stay on top of that. The other thing to note here is in order to graduate from your program, if you are in diploma, associate, or bachelor, you must have a 2.0 cumulative grade point average. A 2.0 cumulative grade point average is the same thing as a C, if that makes sense. Then for our master's students, you must have a 3.0 CGPA average. That's a B average. Now you might wonder, well, how can I get a C in my core courses but have a 3.0? Well, that's because we're expecting that you'll probably get an A, a B, maybe a C. The A and the C equal a B, if that makes sense. So it is doable. And we know we have a lot of students who are very successful in all of our programs, but we just like to let you know what the minimum requirements are for academic progress. I'm going to wrap up super quick here on how to get help. So David and I are here for you. Financial aid is here for you. All of your instructors, your program directors, Dr. Q's here, Jamie is here, our director of the campus, but we want you to know how to find us in an easy way. So when you are in our online classroom, you can actually use the items at the top navigation bar to reach out to folks. We do have a learning resource center in that top navigation bar that gives you access to online books, journals, magazines, and more. And we have a librarian that can be contacted via email. Another thing that's at the top navigation bar here is we have tech support available to you, email, chat, and telephone. They have a support portal, and I've listed their phone number here. We also have all of our financial aid information here. For you, you'll want to be, we want to be contacting the online financial aid, which is onlinefa@brooklinecollege.edu. And I believe we recently updated this phone number. The phone number out there should be a 480 number now, but it was going to the same place, but we've updated that. And then for David and myself, particularly David, your student service advisor, his telephone number is here along with his email address. If you happen to forget, he is here from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then I think that's about it. So since I went a little bit over, I just want to apologize to everybody. Are there any additional questions, David, that we can answer, or are we good to adjourn?
No, it just says, are there any textbooks that we would need for class, or are they all, or are they all ebooks?
That is a really great question. So there are some students that will probably be receiving coding bundles. Now, I don't know if Michelle Kelch is still with us or not. Michelle, are you still there?
She's here.
I can see her, but I don't know if she's still on. Ah, yes. Hey, Michelle.
I'm here.
Hey, can you help us with this question? The question is, are there books that students will be receiving? And I think there are occasionally like hard copy books for some things, correct?
So there are coding book bundles that the students will receive. We require for those bundles a physical address, so you cannot use a PO box. And we will be requesting that information in the start, so Monday of week 3 in Med A, we request that. The other books are in the MindTap, our Cengage Unlimited.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else, David?
Nope, that was the only question that just popped up. So all books will be ebooks except for coding, it looks like. So, and you'll get a physical book for those, and Med A, you'll get that information. So
now, have we had many folks say that they cannot get logged into Moodle yet?
No, nobody has mentioned that at all.
Okay. So guys,
the course shells are opened at this time, Jen. So they can't get in just yet.
That's correct. We do want them to try to actually get into Moodle and
Okay.
just get in there, so we make sure that their username and password is working, saved, and all of that stuff, because we're going to be having some changes happen on Monday. So I'd love to know if you can't get in, to reach out to us or your admissions representative tomorrow, so that we can make sure we get that fixed before we kick into the weekend. And then we were expecting to have all of the student accounts set up today, but it looks like we haven't received them yet. So tomorrow you will receive an email with your Microsoft Office Brookline email account login credentials as well. Okay, good to go? All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you so much. We're here to support you in your journey. You are the future healers of our country. You are going to be out there working with people. We really appreciate the journey that you're about to embark upon, and we want to be part of that story with you. So here's to your evening. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you on Monday. Do not hesitate to reach out. We're all here to support you. And congratulations.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.